Alright, Aaron's Speed Shop here. A little cold in the shop, but we're in uniform. Got a 14-ish Ford Focus ST here. Customer was complaining that the brake warning light came on inside and figured the brakes were probably low. We took a look at it last night, figured out it needs rear pads and rotors. We're going to take you along for that repair and see if you like the video. I am wearing headphones because I like to listen to music, but I will try and keep you guys in the loop. Oh man, look at all that rust. You can see there's really no smooth metal here. None at all. You can't really see in that angle because of no light, but you should be able to see in here. There is a bit of brake pad left. What happens in this case is New England. Salt, sand. You'll notice that the car itself is not terribly rusty. So what would cause these brake rotors to go so nasty? Again, you know, you got enough brake pads sitting in there. Well, this is what you get with cheap metal. If you buy rotors from low quality suppliers, any sort of budget option, it's going to have alloys that will do this. These are probably even made out of 100% recycled metal. Or you could say 100% scrap metal. Recycled and scrap are the same thing. Recycled sounds good. Scrap metal more appropriately tells you what you're going to get in the end result. I'll show you the parts we're going to use to upgrade this to hopefully last through, I don't know, maybe a couple of New England weathers. Let's see. Okay. This is DFC, Dynamic Friction Company. I am going to tell you something here. This is new to me. I use almost exclusively Centric brake parts, and Centric sold out. The former owner of Centric started making dynamic friction. These rotors are fully coated. They're coated with an anti-rust, I don't know, paint, epoxy, powder coat. They don't tell you. But what these rotors are is they're high quality alloy to start with. That allows, even when this material has worn off and you've got a raw friction material here, it allows elements less chance to just completely disintegrate this metal. Now let's get the brakes on the car apart, and I'll show you installing these parts, give you some tips. Alright, here's your brake caliper. This is your brake caliper bracket. The first thing you have to do is there's these two little plastic caps in your slide units, or more like your rubber slides. We pop these caps out, and that will allow us access to actually remove the caliper. Now, a little side note. You're going to have to remove this clip here. Is that clip 100% necessary? No. What it does is it keeps everything aligned and happy. If you don't put this clip back on, you're going to have brake problems. You can kind of just give her a good yank, and really, they just kind of pop out. These clips are incredibly rugged. If you've ever worked on Volvos or anything like that before, it would seem familiar to you. Okay, so now we have our front clip removed. We have our two holes, or covers, off the back rather. Let's try and take those out. Now on a Ford, you're going to find it's going to be a 7mm hex. This isn't always on all Fords, but it's going to work on this one. You see it slides in there, fits in real nice. Alright, be right back. Alright, take your ratchet, get in your socket, and just loosen it. So you'll see that one came loose nice, And then, oh no, looks like it doesn't reach. Oh, how are we going to get in there? Well, let's get a regular Allen wrench. Be right back. All right. You can't really easily get to this bolt without a 7mm L-shaped Allen wrench, which, well, I don't have. You can look and see this is in the way. So what you're going to do is you're going to remove the caliper bracket bolt on the bottom and loosen the top. And this whole caliper is going to slide up, or you're going to be able to rotate it up so you can get this one out. So let's grab a wrench and do that. Wrench. Lower caliper bolt. Yeah, sometimes these don't want to come out. That ain't good. All right, let's get a bigger wrench. All right, these are your two bolts where your caliper bracket bolts on. Your caliper sits on top of this. We're going to clean all this stuff up and then begin to reassemble. I'll show you what I clean. I'm not going to tell you how I clean it because there's varying opinions and procedures. But let's get everything cleaned up and I'll show you how it looks when it goes back together. Okay. In my hand is a special tool that is meant to rotate that caliper piston back into the caliper. I'm not going to show you how to use this tool. If you don't know how to use this tool, you probably shouldn't be using the tool. Ha! Funny way to say that. Anyway, this isn't really an instructional video. It's sort of an overview. That piston is part of the e-brake system, so it actually screws in and screws out like a bolt. Clockwise in, counterclockwise out. Remember, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Anyway, this is one of the solutions to rotate that in. I'm going to put it all back together, and I will show you guys a quick few remaining tips if I have any. New rotor, new pads, put a little looby-dooby in there, and we're also going to put some silicone on the slides that go in there. I'll show you that real quick in a moment. All right, so used a new clip on this side. We got looby-dooby in all the right spots, and that's kind of how it goes together. It is what it is. Let's put the wheels on and take her for a test drive.